はい、今日の曜日、日曜日。Today is April 7th, 2024 here in Pacifica, California, 12 miles south of San Francisco. Temperature is 45 to 56. That's 7C to 13C out here. Finally getting a little bit to the temperature that where us Medaka heads could start enjoying the outdoor life over here. It's a little windy over here. The best beer of the day, MedakaMetal style, is the beer that you were having after a nice brunch at Nick's. So come by Chinchi. Oh yeah. So today I just want to talk about a quick water change. Jizz, it's the most delicate time of the year for Medaka's outdoors. Meaning stress wise, right? The temperature is changing from a cooler climate to a warmer climate. What do I mean by that? Um, when it's really cold all the time, it's all good. When it's kind of warm all the time, it's good. But they are most at the fragile stage when you have extreme water temperature changes, right? So in the morning, it could be in the 40s. In the afternoon, the water temperature actually, even if the temperature says that it's only up to like 56, I always carry this meter with me. The water itself is at 60. So that's 16 degrees Celsius. So when you have the fluctuation, the water fluctuation from 40 to 60, that's pretty harsh for them stress wise, right? So this is when you don't want to be doing tons of like 100% water changes. You want to do gradual water changes. You want to do gradual feeding at the same time. What do I mean by gradual water changes? Which is going to be the focus of what I'm talking about right now under the influence of the beer, is the water in here has been here since probably November of 2023. A lot of rain. It's been raining a lot here in California. So a lot of water has been changed throughout the months, but it's all rainwater. It's not the best water in the world, obviously. So a lot of people may think, well, let's just change out the water to brand new water. But again, gradual changes, right? They are in this water. I don't even know what the water parameters are, but it's not good. Um, but you don't want to suddenly change their environment to something that we depict as humans as being good water. You want to do a slow change. So from bad, we as in you and I would want to um, change out the water into what is desirable for them. What is desirable? Obviously, low ammonia, low nitrates, nitrites, something with minerals so they could thrive and grow. By the way, these are just a combination of some Yozakuras born last, probably, I don't know, September. They made it throughout the winter outdoors, and I have some random Yukis in here. I don't mind mixing them because I know I could easily scoop them out based on what they are, based on which parent I want to breed. It's not like you want to breed everything. You want to collect all the eggs that you find. It's more about selective breeding, right? Grabbing the male that you like, grabbing the females that you like, and then collecting those eggs. So long story short, let me take a real quick sip and then do a quick um, water change. How I do water changes, at least gradually. So you don't want to do this when the temperature is like below 50, um, because at 44 they start moving around. At 50 they're okay, but at 60 degrees Fahrenheit they're all swimming around and doing all moving around. They have the energy to do so a lot. So this is how I do it. So over here, let me see if I can do this with one hand. I just have a bucket over here. It's about 2.5 gallons. So I'm just going to dunk it in, just making sure that I don't accidentally grab any of the Medaka. Something like that. All right. So that's a good like 2.5 gallons right here. You could siphon it out, but to me, siphoning it out is a lot of work. So I'm just gonna throw that away. If you have plants, this is perfect like plant water over here. And then I go to where these are, this is where I prepare the water. How do I prepare the water? It's nice. What I do is I just spray the water in here. I do use dechlorinators just because we have chloramine. Chloramine, even if you leave the water out here for, I don't know, a couple days, I have read that chloramine doesn't dissipate into the air. So because we have chloramine here in Pacific California, I use, right now I'm using Prime, I think Seachem Prime. I use the Fritz Complete as well. And I'll drip them in here, but I'll at least let the water mature outdoors in the wild for at least 1 or 2 days. Same thing with over here. They're just in these water tubs. Now I'm going to dunk the same bucket that I just used. It's about 2.5 gallons. And bring them over here again. Over here. And I'm just going to slowly place it in here. There's not too much splashing or anything. That's it. And this is one of those tubs that you get at Costco. I think it's like 30 gallons. But in reality, you only have like, 27 gallons in here. So I just replaced, I don't know, probably like 10% of the water that's in here. Well, that's it. But I am going to continue to do this on a semi-daily basis, depending on how the temperature is outdoors. And within like 2 weeks, they'll all have basically a good amount of the original water here will be gone. All right, here's another 2.5 gallon. Just gonna dump it. Simple. I mean, you could do it with one hand. It's not simple if you can't do these things with one hand. Oh, it's hard to hold a gimbal. It's hard to hold a bucket and then a beer in the other. So you want to make it easy for yourself. And again, the most important thing is making sure that the water temperature, the new water that you're introducing here, is about the same temperature. Again, the water temperature fluctuation, if there's too much of a fluctuation, that is where it really stresses them out. So aside from the pH, the water quality, water temperature, just make sure that the water temperature is pretty close. I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Again, I like to age the water for at least like a whole day, or preferably 2 full days. And, oh boy. Same thing over here. All right. Just slow and easy. Another thing about water change is you don't want to feed 2 hours prior to feeding. You don't want to change the environment, the water, 2 hours prior to feeding and 2 hours after changing the water. The reason behind that is Medakas do not have stomachs, right? So whatever they eat, they'll digest within about 90 minutes. We just want to make sure that while they are digesting food or while they are about to digest food, you don't want to change their environment or too much, because that will basically add a bunch of stress. So hopefully that made sense, but simple, one-handed. The beauty of keeping Medakas outdoors is the simplicity of everything. So again, the water looks identical, maybe. It's still green. Green water isn't bad. Toxic water is bad. But you want to make sure you do little changes. So it may not look different to the human eye, but I think they are liking the 10% water change, basically. And I'll keep on doing that a little bit. And at the end of the day, these tubs will become 100% purified, diluted from the toxins, from the rain, the natural sources, and all the ammonia and all that stuff. As it gets warmer, we are going to be feeding them more. What does that mean? They're going to end up pooping more. What does that mean? That means the water is going to get to bed sooner than before. So as it gets warmer, the water is going to get, the bad bacteria per se is going to become, the water is going to become a lot worse or sooner than when they're not eating when it's cold, right? So got to keep up with that. And that is the way you keep healthy medakas, I think. By watching them swim, you can kind of tell. So again, it's been a while. It's the first time 2024 out here. This year, I'm going to be. It's been, I think, the Medaka world as far as food in general. There's all these boutique brands, but in general, it was the Kyorin's Hikari food that has monopolized, I guess, in Japan, the Medaka no Mai. But this late last year, Gex brand, um, a very Gex is a brand that's huge in Japan. They're really concentrating on medakas, and they developed this food, Medaka no Genki Ayahime, and they have two different types. This one over here is for, it's for, you want to give this when you want them to start producing eggs, right? And then they have another one, this red one over here, Medaka Genki by Gex Ayahime, and this one is for growth. So this is when you have something like this, about I don't know, 1.5 centimeters. That's about 0.6 inches when you want them to start growing to get to that point. This is what they suggested to feed. They're both the same size as far as the actual granules go, but scientifically, it's all purpose, right? Purpose food. So these are the two that I think I'm going to be really using this year. I think it's something really new in the industry in Japan that picked up last year, like out of nowhere. They just started blowing up where people were getting like fantastic results. The other thing is there is an opportunity to bring these in here to the US. And if you are like interested in any of these, just let me know so I could tell them that there is interest, and maybe I could bring them in for all us Medaka heads over here in the US to try these out. So that's another thing I wanted to not forget to mention. But all right, whatever you do with the environments for the Medakas, just take it slow and easy. Nothing drastic. They are strong, but again, right now, winter to spring, it's when the temperature is changing. This is when they are most stressed per se. So little changes. Don't do anything drastic, even though we think it's the best thing to do for them, to provide them with the best environment that we think. It's not about what we think, it's about what they feel, right? So, right, we'll do it again next time. MedakaMetal, Instagram at MedakaMetal is where I can be found. So, domo arigato. All you Medaka heads, outs.